So let's start on this. Uh, should we just go through once what all is there? What all does it cover? So what we started initially for around 66 verses were of what is that, why we are here as human beings, what is the purpose, and why human life is such a precious thing, and what is means for liberation, qualification of a disciple. Various verses were there on disciple and on guru, and how should one approach one's guru, and what are the advices given by the guru, the questions by the disciple, and what do you mean by bondage, and how do we directly experience self. So this is what we did for 66 of these shlokas. Then after the introduction of 66, Shankaracharya took us into the Shravana Marga, wherein we understood about what is the meaning of Shravana, that is to hear and understand from the Guru. Then what is the meaning of body, how the body is formed, how the person is bound to the body, and the fascination we have for the body, and how do we overcome this heat, or how do we overcome this passion and belongingness to this body. That was until 91 verse. Then we came from, that is 67 to 91. Then we came into the subtle body. The subtle body consisting of what are its components and what it means to be, what are the functions of it. So 92 to 105 we basically dealt with that. Then the third one we started was a causal body. Okay, so in the causal body we looked into what is Maya, the gunas, what we have, the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, and what is the Avyakta or unmanifested. So from 106 to 121, we covered these. Then we started understanding what is Anatma, non self, and what is Atman, the self, and what is called as bondage. With that, we ended the complete first volume, which is 146. So I believe that we have understood the purpose of human life, the Shravana, which is the teaching, hearing to the Guru, and we have understood what is bondage. Any questions so far, or anywhere you think we need to cover specifically before we go into next topic?
Nothing that I recall. I mean, the glance is good actually. I had also went through this during my sick time once.
Okay, good. So covering it again makes it much more sense.
Yeah.
So now we are coming into the second part of it, that is manana. That is, manana is to reflect upon whatever we have learned. So we are going to again revisit what is about discriminating self from self and not self, and for till the end of this session, he is going to be talking about the five koshas. That is the Annamaya kosha, the Pranamaya kosha, the Manomaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, and Anandamaya kosha. The Taittiriya Upanishad, what talks about these five koshas, are also covered by Shankaracharya in a complete manner. So we'll start with that. So na अस्त्रैः न शस्त्रैः अनिलेन वन् वह्निना चेत्तुं न शक्यः न च कर्म कोटिभिः विवेकविज्ञानमहा असिन्न विना धातु प्रसादेन सीतेन मनु manjuna. So let us understand what this shloka is all about. It is to discriminate. So he talks about the four elements here. So shastra, and by astra and the shastra, weapons of any kind, anilena by wind, vanhina by the fire. So any solid or anything fire and anything that is moving, nor can the bondage be destroyed by millions of actions. Chittum na shakyah na cha karma kotibihi. That is, if a person were to do thousands and different kind of rituals and actions, that also wouldn't help. What really helps is viveka vijnana maha asinna vina. Knowledge born out of discrimination is that sword through which one can cut this maya. So the bondage cannot be done by doing the normal things. The normal things can be getting entangled with the five elements. That is what we've been doing all the time. And also by doing different kind of karma. That also would not help. Dhatuhu prasadena sitena manjuna. So by purification of the mind and the intellect, this sword can be kept well sharpened. So what he's saying is that you need to create a sword which is the knowledge of the reality, through which this ignorance of self and ignorance of this maya can be removed. So what it means is that in verse number 148 he talks about Shruti Pramana Ekamatehe Swadharma Nishtha Taya Eva Atma Vishuddhihi Asya Vishuddha Buddhehe Paramatma Vedanam Tena Eva Samsara Samula Nashaha. Shruti Pramana. Shruti is the Vedas and the Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita and all that. So that is the Pramana. Ekamataha. That is agreeing to that. Swadharma Nishtha. So he performs his duties, what is supposed to be. That is, if I have chosen some role to be played, I do it to the best of my ability. Taya eva atma vishuddhi asya. That is, Shruti Pramana and Swadharma. These are the two which can help the mind to be purified. Vishuddha buddhehe paramatma vedanam. So having thus gained this purity in his mind, he is now ready for trying out the knowledge what he has gained of the Supreme Self. Tena eva samsara samula nashaha. By this knowledge alone, the samsara, that is one end to another end. Samsaranti iti samsara, that is one who circles around, is called samsara. So what is this circling around is the five type of things what we generally do in life. That is, number one, find alternatives to dukkha, while the dukkha is a real thing in the world. So we try our best to find the solution to this dukkha, so that a limited amount of sukha can be felt. Sukha in the body and sukha in the mind. Number two, what we do is to change our perception that pleasure is the most important thing. So we find the pleasures in everything we do out of five senses and five sense objects. The third one is to preserve these sense objects from destroying. So we do all kind of things, including insurance or monetary benefits and accumulation, and all that is part of this idea to uh, procure or to hold or to keep or to develop. So this third thing what we do. And the fourth thing we do is not to lose it. So we want to secure it and share it with only those people whom we think we can share, like our children or wife or husband or other family members whom we trust. And the fifth one is to believe that somehow or the other we can retain it. That is, I can somehow be saved. So this is basically the five things what a person would like to do. So this is what the world is all about. The loka is all about. There is no other thing we do except for these five things. And because we do it in a repetitive manner, it is called samsaranti, that is turning around. So as our, including our breathing, if we see, the in breath goes in, then it turns, and that in breath becomes out breath and comes out, and a new in breath again goes in, again turns out, and again becomes an out breath, and I let this cycle continues. In the body, if we see the circulation, the same blood is transmitted every now and then in the body, it goes in circles. As soon as we eat food, again the rasa and the rakta, all these dhatus will get generated, and then it keeps on circling and circling and circling. So everywhere it is about circling, including if you see the planets, they are circling. If you see our office to home, every day we are circling. If we see our going to the grocery store or to vegetable market or wherever we want to go, again we are circling. If we want to do a world travel across the globe, then again it is circling. So everything is circling. And if we were to wake up, we were to sleep, and when we sleep, again we wake up, it's again circling. So this circling thing is what is called as samsara. And we love this as much as we want, because basically we are ignorant of this circling. So once a person knows that he is circling, then he will look at the Shruti, that is the scriptures, to see how one can get rid of the circling and starts doing his swadharma, what role he is supposed to play. So, what it really means is that I have been given a role in this life, so I do it just because I am supposed to participate in the role, not to circle it around. So if I do that, once the role gets finished, I will not be allocated any further role. If not, if I am doing out of interest, that is, if I am doing out of getting a further role, again it is a circling. If I am not doing it properly, again it is circling, because I need to perform that role properly, and the director of the movie will say that, look, you have not done these actions correctly, so you have to do a retake. So again I have to do a retake of that scene where I had not done it properly. So now I'm doing it properly, but now I'll start liking that role to an extent that I feel it is real. So since the role becomes reality, I am attached to that role. So I want to keep on performing, let us say, the role of a hero, but I don't want to be given a villain role. So now I need to fight to get that hero role. Might happen, might not happen. So I will be out of the role for some time, but I keep on applying, and again I get the hero role, and then I start performing. So each one of us are stuck in this way, in this long samsaranti. So now he starts with what makes this happen, why this samsara happens. So he starts with the panchakosha, vilakshana, koshaihi panchabihi अन्नमयादयः आत्मान संवृतः भाति निजशक्ति समुत्पन्नैः शैवाल पतलैः इव अम्बु वापे वापेस्थम. So koshaihi panchibihi, these are the five sheaths such as Annamaya kosha, food sheath, Pranamaya kosha, the life or the life sheath, or then Manomaya kosha, the sheath of the mind, Vijnanamaya kosha is the sheath of the intellect, Anandamaya kosha is the sheath of bliss. Atma na samvrittah bhati. This self is covered by these five sheaths and it doesn't show up. Nijashakti samutpannaihi, though they own their origin to the self power, that is, these five sheaths cannot stay without that. However, Shaivala is moss, patalaihi iva, that is, that the water, the patala, from there it has sprung up. Ambu vapistham, and is hidden. The water is hidden from outside and only the moss has got developed. So these are the five koshas which cover up that Atman. Okay. This is the thing. Once in a while, if the moss were to slightly move out, the inner source comes out. But unfortunately, since it is covered, it cannot come out at all in any way. So he again continues in verse number 50. Tat Shaivala apanaye samyak salilam prati yate shuddham trishna santapaharam sadhya saukyapradam param pumsaha. When this moss is removed completely, pure water then becomes visible. This can then quench the thirst at once to the person who is thirsty and can give that person an immense satisfaction. So, what we are supposed to do is to remove this moss. What is this moss consist of? This moss consists of 6 different things, starting with kama, sensuality, krodha, anger and distress, lobha, greed, moha, delusion, mada, intoxication for power, position, and all that, and matsarya is stinginess. Generally, we are all stingy enough not to give anything because we have done so much to complete our education and get the job and earning what we wanted to do. And it is a cycle. So again, it's like a samsara. So we see our earlier generation doing it, and their generation doing it, and their generation doing it, and now we are doing it, and our children are doing it. So it's a thing which can be seen. So no person would be willing enough to give away what he has cherished in life. So because of this matsarya, there is always a sense of securing it. So we preserve what we feel valuable. So this tucha, that is what is in vain, what is not required, or what perishes by itself, is treated as the most hard earned thing, and no person would like to give it, because that is what the cause of this moss which gets developed. So once the person were to give up mascharya, stinginess of possessing something which by itself destroys, then his interest in karma goes away. So once karma goes away, there is no way Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya can survive, because it requires sensuality to survive. So he says what happens when the person is in these five sheets, or what happens when this self is shown out of five sheets. Panchanam api koshanam अपवादे विभाति अयम शुद्धः नित्य आनंद एक एकरसः प्रत्यग रूपः परः स्वयं ज्योतिः. Even so, when these five sheets apavade vibhati ayam shuddha are removed, these are removed, and the pure self shines out. Nitya Ananda Ekarasaha Pratyag, as the essence of everlasting inner bliss the person enjoys. Rupaha Paraha Swayam Jyotihi. So this Rupa, the form, what gets Paraha, it is something different than his usual thing, and it is like a jyoti or light. So when these sheets are removed, basically it reveals the pure self without any blemishes. The mind was contaminated with these sheets or with these moss. So now he is seeing outside samsara, and he is so happy. And what is now at one point unreachable, now he is seeing it in everywhere. So there is a permanent bliss enjoyed by him. And now he can swim in that clear water without having got contaminated by anything at all. Now in the verse number 52, 152, Shankara explains what needs to be done. Atma anatma vivekah कर्तव्यः बन्धमुक्तः विशुद्धः तेन एव आनन्दी भवति स्वं विज्ञाय सच्चिदानन्दम्. So now this person, after seeing that this moss has been removed, now is revealed the self. So now he can discriminate the self and non-self. Now he is removed from the bondage. Bandha muktaye vishuddha, that is purified, he is liberated. Tena eva anandi bhavati swam. Only then he becomes happy of seeing himself. Vijnaya Satchidanandam, and known to be as Sat Chit Ananda. So, one thing is that we discriminate self as non-self and non-self as self. That means this body, the name, the body and the mind and the ego is treated as myself. The original self, which is not bound to anything, is not at all considered because we don't know where it exists. Whereas one can see that the body is changing moment to moment, the ego is changing moment to moment, the mind is changing moment to moment. Even though ego is merged with Atma, but it is changing. So one doesn't see that happening. But now he is able to see it. So when we go behind name and forms or the name that can give us fame as well, it only inflates the ego in the mind. It doesn't really do anything. So the knowledge what I would have gained by talking about Vivekachudamani makes me give another 10 discourses and maybe become famous. Other than that, it doesn't remove the bondage. But the person who is already in liberation does not require any one of these because he knows that those things are as false, as true as it seems. So he knows the falsehood in this. The name and the fame and all of the other things what are there are actually not there. He doesn't require or she doesn't require any one of these false attitudinal things to cover this up. So he gives up that. So now he has understood the pure existence. So Sat is the truth or the existence which is there, which exists irrespective of the condition. Chit is that consciousness, or we can say better word to use is awareness. It's aware of everything but need does not require anybody's help. So let me give you an example which happened today. So I was supposed to do something in the morning and my wife was informing me to do certain things. So let us say I did it. Now I was looking from consciousness or this awareness perspective. If I don't do, also there is awareness. If I do, also there is awareness. And this awareness is ever constant. It's not changing. Whereas I did something or I did not do something, there is a change. There is a motion. So my wife said something to be done and I'm doing it means there is a movement from not doing to doing something. And when I completed what was said to be done, so then there I am expecting an acknowledgement that it is done or it is done properly, not done properly. But if I were to see from that conscious awareness, or instead of using the word consciousness, if I were to use awareness, just being aware, then there is no need to ask for acknowledgement because there is no one to acknowledge anything. I'm just doing. There is only this function of doing. It doesn't have to be this doing and that doing. It is just the doing, just the seeing, just the hearing, just the tasting, just the smelling, and just the thinking. There's nothing like I am thinking, I am seeing, I am tasting, I am touching, I am smelling, and I am hearing. These six are not anything to do with me. They really don't exist. What I need to do is just be aware of what is happening. When somebody says to do something, I just do it. When I'm not doing it, also there is awareness. When I'm doing it, there's also awareness. So when this class was to be conducted, where I was not ready for it, I'm aware that I'm not doing it. So when I was asked that, are you going to conduct the class now? And now I'm doing it, there is just an awareness. In that awareness, I'm not taking anything. Neither I'm taking that I'm doing it, nor I'm taking I'm not doing it. They're just the doing. There is no addition to that doing. Now, if I observe my mind, if I observe what is that I'm feeling, I am at peace because there is nothing to be associated with. We are already at 10:05. Should we continue or should we end? What do you feel?
Yeah, we'll end.
Okay, fine then.
Okay. I think sometime you have to explain the Sat Chit Ananda in a deeper level. Okay, what we are all doing is the same thing, but then that Sat actually means what? Awareness actually means what? Ananda means what? In the normal situation. How will you observe that?
Now, should we do it now or should we do it tomorrow?
We can do it tomorrow.
Okay, no worries then. Then we will do it tomorrow.
Okay.
So this one tomorrow is Sunday, but still we are on, right?
I am okay.
Yeah, okay for me too. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so then I will log in at the same time.
Okay. Thank you, Vilas.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right then. Bye.